What is good, YouTube? Tonight we're going to take a quick look at this little tablet I found on Amazon. Now, I'm not sure exactly who makes these. It'll have the name POWMUS on the back side of this device. POWMUS. But if you take a look in device, I think it comes up as a Blackview. Okay, comes up as a Blackview Tab12 Pro, and it also goes under this other alias, manufacturer in car. Yeah, brand Blackview. So I've also seen it under this name, TOSCiDO. I'm not gonna try. I'm ruin it if I try to say that. But it'll be under these specs. It'll say something like that, and you'll also notice it comes with the Bluetooth keyboard and the dongle mouse. That's not a Bluetooth mouse. I wish it was, because this is a Type-C port. We'll go over all that in a second. So, but the dongle is Type-A with an adapter, so it's huge. You'll see this tablet appearing under different brand names, but I guess I'm gonna go with Blackview. We can see it does have a nice screen to body ratio. At a guess, it's 87%, I don't know, but it does go right up to the edge on the sides, and on the top you do have a front-facing 8-megapixel camera. At the bottom we do have a little bit of a bezel. If I can orientate my finger, there we go. But it's still pretty thin. The whole device itself is incredibly thin. We'll go over the peripherals real quick. You get one Type-C up here. You get an auxiliary type, if I can get to focus, a type, 3.5 millimeter. And I don't know if that's got mic input on there as well. I haven't tried it. But up here we have the rocker volume up and down and a power button. Now, I did modify this a little bit here. I cut away the material around the volume rocker, and that was because there's no textile feedback for me when I tried to turn it up or down, and it was really hard to tell if you even had pushed the button. So, I went ahead and did that, made the cutout so I can actually feel when the button clicks, and also the power button, which I didn't have an issue with. This one you can still feel it click. It does take quite a lot of effort to hit this button though. Over here, coming down from the power button and volume rocker, we have a single speaker, and then at the bottom down here we have another speaker. So the speakers are here and here. I do wish that they were here and here, but it's okay. I guess they expect most people are holding this in the portrait mode and not landscape, but in my instance I do like to use it in landscape. This does have a 10.3 inch screen. The listing will say that it has a 10.4 inch, but it doesn't. Whatever, it's a point difference. So it'll say here that we have 1200 by 1920. The listing will tell you that it is 2000 by 1200. This is also a 56 hertz screen, which kind of threw me off because you're expecting 60. And I couldn't tell you this wasn't 60. Maybe but it is still, it's smooth enough. So there is some ghosting going on here. You can see when I let it swipe completely. You can see this isn't a high refresh panel. It's not even 60, it's 56. Anyway, I wonder if there's a way to turn it to 60. I was kind of looking into messing with that, but from what it was telling me, there's risks involved, and I just got this, so I'm going to leave it how it be for now. Maybe since this is my only tablet right now, maybe when I get another one for testing purposes, I'll play around with this thing. Because I have overclocked monitors before with success in small increments, like small amounts. But to see 60 would make me happier. 56. Anyhow, this tells you all types of stuff. This is a pretty cool app. I don't know how legit it is, but it's a pretty cool app. Right now it's showing us using 49% brightness, which is where I like it. Until, like, say when I go lay down, I'll have it at minimum, which would look like this. So this is minimum brightness. And my monitor in the background is going to dwarf. I think I have that around 250 nits. And then this claims 350 nits on full brightness, which I'll go ahead and hit it on full. But yeah, definitely bright enough for, especially at nighttime. It's like way too bright. So I'm going to put it back to half, around there. And we'll also take a look at the battery usage, because I forgot to talk about that. The battery usage, battery life is good. I bet you could get 10 hours out of this battery at 50% brightness. Now you can see, this will tell you how much is being drawn. So we're pulling about 400, 500, let's see, it'll tell you in milliamps. So idling 450, you can see our average here. So if you were just letting it idle at 800 on an 8,000 milliamp hour battery, 800 milliamps for 10 hours in theory. That would be at 50%. No, 50. That's at 50% though. Brightness we're getting at idle. Let's say for easy numbers, 400. Let's say we're averaging 400 just idling. You could let it idle on 50% brightness in theory then for 20 hours. So for mixed usage, if it's just sitting here, keep laying on the keyboard. We'll talk about this keyboard in a second. Yeah, if you were mixed usage all day, I bet you could easily get a 10-hour day out of this device with the moderate 50 to 65% brightness. I noticed that's when it really starts chewing into the battery. Is of course as you approach, if you go full brightness, you'll see. We can look at it'll double the power draw. Go back to the screen. Where's the screen? Display. Not display, battery. What am I doing? So now we're pulling like 1,900, idling 900 to say 950, 1,000 for round numbers. So then you're going to be pulling. That would still last you. That's 1,000 milliamps for 8 hours. Or if you're at 8,000, so yeah, you wouldn't get 8 hours, you'd get like 6 or something like that. I'm not gonna do the math, I'm tired. But let's turn the brightness back down. You get the bright enough? Like I said, the listing claims, I remember seeing it somewhere, it said 350 nits. I believe it. It may be more like 300 something, maybe not 350, but I would say definitely 300. I have no way to measure, but color accuracy, I'm gonna guess 72%, maybe better. These monitors behind me are 100% sRGB, so they do look. This is a more accurate color representation, I would say. It just feels more. It feels better to look at too. This is good. The screen for what I paid $110, and I was going to tell you that's why you gotta look for which one is on sale, and that's why I was mentioning sometimes maybe it'd be Blackview. Right now it's the TOSCiDO, TOSCiDO. So if you look for that brand right now, it'll be for $139 before a $30 coupon, and that's applied at checkout. So that's instantly put it to $109.98. Free shipping if you're Prime. I think you have to be Prime. I don't know. I got Prime because I use too much Amazon to not be Prime. But anyway, it'd be $109 right now for the TOSCiDO brand. I have no idea how to say that. So sometimes it may be under Blackview, or this one, or this the one right here is POWMUS, POWMUS, POWMUS. Anyway, look at the rest of the system real quick. You got. Trying to get this thing come back up. This is a pretty cool app. It tells you all the different stuff. That's what I was going to go over was the operating system. I'll say it's on Android 12, but it's not. It's actually a 13. So that's pretty weird. Maybe I'm just missing something here, but I missed it. It'll tell you system. What was it about? And there was a system update. I forgot how to go to it. Android 13. There we go. 13. So it's saying it's Android 13. Maybe it came with 12 and it updated, because it did run an update and I didn't really pay attention during that period of time. But it did do an update. So maybe it came with 12 and then it ran into 13 or updated to 13. I want to focus. Trying to focus on me, my reflection. I can see it. Now in real life, I don't really see the reflection much at all. You don't notice it. This is a glass screen, 10.3 inches, and that's a 1920 or full 1080. Right over here, you'll see that the device has 8 gigs of. That's the real RAM, and then it's going to have another 7 going in swap. So this is DDR4. I think I remember reading it was like DDR4 2133, something like that, 2100. And so 8 gigabytes of that is real RAM, and then it gives you an extra 7 if you needed it. Like if you ran out of RAM, it'll go start using what I'm guessing is eMMC, 120 gigabytes of internal storage. Now that did test really well. I don't have the benchmark now. I deleted it by accident, but I deleted the app that had it. But it did run 750 on read, 750 megabytes on read, and then it did like 350 something on write. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It feels fast. Like, it's not as fast as like my M.2 at whatever 6,000 or 7,000 gigabytes a second, but it's still, it feels fast on these little devices doing small apps. Like, these aren't huge apps. Some of them can be, but you can see how quick it'll open stuff. It'll clear everything out, clear everything. Idle, we're using 37% of that 8 gigabytes. This is only showing for 8, so it would really be like half of that number, or a little more than half. Anyway, like I said, I can't math right now. I know how to do the math, but my brain, it's like, just like, no, just don't do it. For this price tag, and it comes with these accessories that I failed to mention. This little tiny little keyboard. This keyboard does have quite a lot of flex to it. Let's put it down here. It's like it's made out of rubber, almost. Like, it's metal. It's definitely made of metal, but it's very thin metal. It's got like a brushed finish on this side, and it's just plain like rolled steel or something on the back. Up here you have the on and off button and a button to connect. So if it's turned on, you don't really, as soon as you push any key on this keyboard, it's going to look for the last paired device. It also came with this terrible mouse that is probably like, this is the cheapest mouse I've ever felt in my hands. Like, as soon as you pick it up, you're like, yo, like, how did they make it this cheap? The battery door broke from opening it. It'll still work, but let's see if I can get the angle right. It broke the little latches. There, kind of focused on it. Those two little prong things. Just, that was from opening it. Of course, it does not come with the AAA batteries. You're going to need 2 of them. And it's not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, I meant. So you're going to need to use the dongle, which will not go into the Type-C without an adapter. So it's sticking off of the device, like over here. It comes off, so it's no, like it's just no, like it's not. Plus, it was okay. I did try it. It had 3 levels for the DPI. The scroll has a click, so it's got 3 buttons technically, and a scroll, and then the DPI settings. But it just feels so terrible to hold it. If it weren't for the batteries, that's the only weight in this thing. Like, it feels like you could break it by accident. Like, I could just squish it if I wanted to. Like, I could just pinch it and it would just, like that. But it came with it, so that's cool. It also came with this stylus. This stylus, top shelf quality. This weighs like a penny. Like if you picked up a nickel. So the material is like super lightweight. And then of course you got a little SD card slot remover. Now this says it'll do up to 1 terabyte. Right now I have a 512 in there, so that definitely in 512 works. And it came with the case. It came with the little case, which will fold into a tent mode where it'll sit like it is right now. Right now I have it on a little cell phone holder because I prefer that. Keeping it like up above the table a little bit. Just actually, I don't know, just easier to look at, I guess. But anyway, for $110, I'm gonna put the links up in the video here. Definitely worth looking at if you're just for general usage. Like, you could be on Amazon, You could have your YouTube going. Like, I don't worry, because I know it's got so much RAM. I don't really worry about closing apps or anything. Like, I'll open a bunch of apps here. Did I open that already? Probably. So we're using 48% of the RAM, and all this stuff is floating here. We could put up a browser. 49%. So, you know, you're not going to run out of RAM by accident. If I clear all this, what do I got? I cleared 160 megabytes of memory. So anyway, you got a bunch of stuff open. Idle, you're using like 37%, 40% just for having nothing open. That's why when I see these tablets with 3 gigabytes or something, I'm like, that's just the operating system, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, all your memory, you're always out of memory. You're always in swap, which is slow. That's why they're so slow. But this one's got 8, and then it's got another 7, and pretty quick. What I'm guessing is eMMC, you know, storage 128, and then you can go up to a terabyte on the SD. I can't really think of anything else to talk about on this device. If you think I forgot something, you have a question, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll try to put the links to, like I was saying, this is on Amazon under a bunch of different names, but some of those names are legit. Like, I know Blackview has had good reviews, and so this one says in the ID stuff, it says it's a Blackview, so I guess this is a Blackview, one of their devices or something they made, and then they just shared it with all these other names. And I guess they're all coming out of China anyway. They're all coming out of the same factory, I'm sure. And then they just slap a different name on it. Yeah, came nicely packaged too in the box. I forgot. This focus on it. Tablet PC. And it was well packaged. You know, it had a screen protector. It comes with a couple, I think 2 screen protectors you can put on. I like nothing on the glass. I don't think they were glass. They look like the little plastic thing that you slip on. And there's always a bubble on those, so I'm like, nah, just nope. But anyway, it's a nice thought. They gave you those. It does come with the little tripod case, which on the go is fine. And this terrible keyboard. It's cute though, it's really small. And if you need to just send a message, or you're just typing stuff in a search bar, you know, that's fine. Yeah, I still prefer that over a screen. It's still easier to type something on this than it is to type it on the screen, so sure. I'll go ahead and end the video, and y'all have a good one. If you have any questions, again, go ahead and leave them below. Take care.